He is singing for Switzerland at Eurovision 2022. It is Marius Bear. Hello.
Good morning, everybody.
Oh, it's so good to see you. Where are you?
I'm in Madrid right now. Look at this view.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're about to give a live performance at the pre-party Madrid.
Tonight, first live performance I'm joining now.
Oh, wow. Are you excited to be in the Eurovision bubble?
Yeah, really. Yeah, I'm really excited. Last night I met already a few of the artists, and yeah, they are all nice, and it's fun. Yeah.
Oh, that's really nice. It feels like mutually supportive, not like a competition.
Definitely, yeah.
Great. Well, I guess as a starting point, what made you want to enter Switzerland's Eurovision competition in the first place?
Hey, for me, I'm mostly like a live musician. I'm doing a lot of tours through Switzerland, and we had now a long time break, kind of way, like everyone else too. And then I thought, okay, it would be great for me and my team to show my team, like, okay, we got something where we can have a hold on. And for me, I was always a Eurovision fan, because I watched it always with my family. You know, in Switzerland there are like two things. You're watching ski runs, you know, like ski races together with the family, and the Eurovision thing. So it's kind of a family tradition in Switzerland to watch it together with your family.
They must be so excited for you.
Yeah, really, they are.
Oh, and what about the song? You know, sometimes people think a song just drops out of the air, but it's a lot of work. Could you tell us about writing it?
Mountains, they crumble, and rivers, they run dry, and boys do cry.
Yeah, for me, it was like the song. It's all about me and what I want to say to this world as an artist. Because I had a long time during Corona to think about myself. You know, what's my message as a white privileged boy from Switzerland? You know, it's like it's like the worst thing nowadays in our community as an artist. Okay, you know, I grew up in a good neighborhood, and I never had like big problems or whatever. And as an artist, to find your message, it's really hard. But then I realized, for me, I was always a really emotional guy, and I had a bit of hard childhood, like with mobbing and stuff, because I'm quite heavy. Like, I'm 130 kilo. Okay. So I'm a heavy boy. And yeah, and it was about and Boys to Cry, the message, Boys to Cry, it's about being an emotional man, and being an emotional man, and just don't have try to be yourself. I think it's really important to be yourself. And especially nowadays, where there's so much toxic masculinity in this world, you know, with all the things which are happening. And I think Boys to Cry, for me, it's the right message to give out there in this busy and crazy world, just to give them like 3 minutes, like a 3-minute embrace with this song. That's why there is no crescendo and no crazy explosion of my voice. I could sing stronger, and I could put more on the stage, but it's about having this emotion and being warm and creating a little Walt Disney World around my song.
It's really nice. I like that comparison. And you do create a mood. It's a very strong mood, even if it is soft and quiet. I'm curious, the music, did that come easily when you guys were writing? Was it really like organic?
When we wrote Boys to Cry, we wrote it together in a hotel room. like this one, in Zurich, and it came just out of the nowhere. So I had the quote "Boys to Cry," so it's the message of the whole album, and I just thought, okay, we need title track with this song, and it just came out of the nowhere. Yeah, kind of.
I guess the best things sometimes do.
Yeah.
The music video, this is so lovely. It's very sweet, very tender. Could you tell us about filming it and also the story of the video?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, the filmmaker, I met him at the home party in Zurich too, and I showed some, or as I normally do, I always show songs to friends and want to have some feedbacks and talk about it. And they and he immediately clicked on it, and he was like, okay, wow, that's an amazing song, and I can see the picture already. And then we hang out a few evenings together, and we talked about it, you know, what should it be, how should it feels like. And I think it's a really strong message behind the video together with the song, because it's not about, it has something, it's so neutral, you know, it's something where everyone can relate to it, because it's a boy who who had a struggle in his life, and like we all had, you know, we all had our times when we had our lows and our highs, and I like the message of Boys to Cry, because it's such a of the video, because it's not about sexuality, it's not about strength, it's just something like everyone can relate to it, like my grandmother can relate to it as also like a 15-year-old kid.
Oh, that's nice. That's lovely. And when we first watched the video, we were like, ooh, we hear Frank Sinatra, we hear Michael Bublé, we hear Marius Bear. Who are your musical inspirations? Who do you look up to?
For me, it's mostly, I love those crooner songs like from the 20s, and I think it's time to bring them back, because right now we are in this the momentum right now, it's so busy, there's pandemic, there's war, there's like everything goes over the top, and I think it's just beautiful to all take it down and create the romantic little world, you know, where you can kind of hide yourself in it and just like forget everything.
Yeah. Will that idea come across on the stage in Torino?
Yeah, definitely. So we're gonna do, I can't tell you too much about the staging, but it will be the opposite than everyone else does, kind of.
Oh.
It will be so small, you know. I think the strength of the song is that it's gonna be so small and so intimate, and go straight through the camera into your living room. Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, we won't ask anymore, but it's sounding very, very good. And another thing that we're curious about is, before you jumped into music, you had a very different career. Could you tell us about the other path you were on before you went into music?
So I came to music when I was 22, so 6 years ago, and I was in the army service, so in the military service of Switzerland, because in Switzerland you still have to go to army. So it's how do you say,
compulsory.
Compulsory, yeah. Yeah, and I was there, and I was an officer in the army, and I had a soldier, and and in the morning you always have to go to this big space and go like, you know, give all the order stuff. And he looked at me and was like, bro, you've got an amazing voice, like it's twice as loud than all the others, you have to sing. And then I laughed at him. I was like, no, that's not my thing, blah, blah. And in the evening we sat together, and he took out his guitar and I sang to it. And like this magic happened. And yeah, and then I cancelled the military service, and I became a busker. And I lived from Busking about 8 months and traveled through Switzerland. And then like my whole journey started.
It's really interesting, busking, because I always feel some people are mean, is what I'm trying to say. Some people can be really rude to buskers. What is the experience like? Is it tough?
I thought it was a necessary move for me because I didn't, at this moment, I didn't have the secureness to sing. And I thought, okay, I just have to try to sing in front of people, and then I will know it, you know. On one hand, they will, if they don't like it, they're gonna spit in my bag, or otherwise they're gonna throw in money. So it's kind of an easy decision, and it's an honest decision, you know. So people will be straight honest on the street to you. So you learned quite quick how to get people into your bubble, and how not to, yeah.
And soon you started performing at festivals all over the place, and you met a famous producer, I think?
Yeah, I met a film producer from New York, and I met this. I played at this festival, Zermatt-am-Platz in Switzerland, and he asked me after the show. He was like, "Well, I want to have your voice on my documentary film about the moon landing," and I was like, "Yeah, okay. What can I do for you?" And he said, "Yeah, come with me to New York. I can't pay you anything. Just stay with me, and I'll give you a bit of money so you can live." And then I went with him to New York, and I lived there for a while. And we produced together the soundtrack of a documentary film about the moon landing, and it's about Charlie Duke. He was, I think, on the Apollo 14, and yeah. And then at the end, like, the premiere was in the Natural History Museum in New York.
Oh, wow.
And it was a crazy evening because I met the astronaut, like the guy who was on the moon, Charlie, and Neil deGrasse Tyson, who was like, he's a big physician, and he's the director of the Natural History Museum. And we had a dinner together. And then in the evening, we went into the Natural History Museum, and the astronaut showed us where he walked on the moon, like 20 minutes long. And that flashed me so much. In the next evening, in the next morning, I woke up and was like, fuck, I'm going to be a musician. I love that.
Oh,
this
wow.
job.
That's amazing. And what's the documentary called?
It's called Lunar Tribute.
Lunar okay.
Tribute.
Lunar Tribute. We will have a listen, or actually watch it, but listen for yourself.
Watch it, yeah.
At some point, were you going to be a mechanic?
Yeah, I mean, where I grew up, it's like really up in the mountains on the countryside in Switzerland, and I grew up, or my dad had a company for building machines, you know, like where you crash buildings with the excavators and stuff. And I grew up in this company, and I worked always there when I was smaller. So my aim in life was always to get into this company and being a mechanism in it, yeah. And now I'm a musician.
Was it difficult to say, okay, I'm going to leave that behind and go this way?
No, not too much, because I'm still allowed in the company, so it's still a part of my DNA, you know. So and it's cool to sometimes to go there and just like chisel around stuff, you know.
Okay.
So I can just to have a free mind, you know.
Great. And a lot of our British viewers, they'll be curious to know about your time in London. What were you doing here, and what do you remember?
After New York, I had a bad experience with a producer. So I went back to New York, wanted to produce my album there, and I played a lot of weddings in Switzerland to earn the money together. And then I went to New York, and I had like, so the producer didn't understand me, and I lost all the money because the songs were shit. And then I thought, okay, I'm gonna do it by myself. So I decided to go to BIM. It's like British Irish Music Institute in London. And I moved to London, and I lived in London for 1.5 years, where I studied music production and songwriting, and I wrote a lot of songs with different songwriters. And it was really interesting to get into the songwriter circle in UK. Yeah, definitely.
Where in London did you live?
In Fulham.
Ah, okay, very nice. Very
yeah,
nice.
no, it's a beautiful part there. Yeah.
And do you keep in touch with your London producer friends?
Hey, yeah, we did during the pandemic. We did a lot of Zoom songwritings too. That worked out quite well. So like three songs of my album are written through Zoom, like we do it right now. So it's like I've got a guitar, wow. You've got a guitar, and we're gonna talk about it and write the song. Yeah.
Oh, well, that worked out. And we keep seeing this clip of you, Whitney Houston. I can see your voice. You had a real moment on this TV show. Like you became a sensation, really. Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, they asked me. It was also in the middle of pandemic, and they asked me, "Okay, do you want to do a show like that?" And normally, I'm not a fan of doing shows because I'm a live musician. Like everything happens in the live bubble with my music, you know. And but then I thought, okay, it's pandemic. That's the best thing I can do. So let's go there. And then they wanted to give me just a song, and I said, okay, I want to produce the song by myself. I'm gonna rewrite the song. I'm gonna perform it on my own. So shut up. and I just decided, because I love the song, and for me, the song I Want to Dance with Somebody was always a ballad. It was always a warm feeling song in itself, and that just took away all the 80s production, all the ding 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 ding. and kind of way stripped it a bit, and performed then this ballad at the TV show.
Oh, I wanna dance with somebody. I wanna feel the heat with somebody.
Yeah, and it worked out well. Unfortunately, we couldn't, you know, like this moment, we couldn't use it because we couldn't do like a Germany tour. So the moment kind of faded away. Oh. So we had to restart again.
Yeah, bring it back. Bring Whitney back. Bring Marius back. We asked our followers on Instagram if they had any questions for you, and a few things came up a lot. One question is, could you tell us about your signature earring?
So it's a sword.
Oh, a sword.
Yeah, it's a sword, and it's dedicated to the little boy in his cavalier.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, that's why it's just like a little hint to the boy.
Is that little boy you? We were debating if it was like you speaking to yourself.
Yeah, it's about my youth, and in the ending, you kind of feel it that like when I take it away, it's about the moment says, okay, take away your emotional what's that?
Armor.
Yeah, take away your emotional armor, and just be yourself, and be the boy who cries, and yeah, don't be a toxic masculinity. Just be yourself, be neutral kind of way. Yeah.
Very nice. And a lot of people say, will Marius release the song in French or German or even with a dance remix?
I think I'm going to do a dance remix. I thought. Yeah. Oh. So we're searching now for some DJs. I thought another house version. It would be cool. Something a bit special. It would be really fun because the song is also special. It has its own quality, you know. It's a really high quality song, and it would be interesting to have like a bit of weird thing going on around it, you know. Yeah, or like a techno remix of it.
You know, when you enter the Eurovision sphere, there's lots of criticism. There's lots of love, of course, lots of praise. But there's also like negativity, as with anything these days. How do you as an artist balance sort of, I guess, social media? Do you avoid it? Do you not think about what people say and just do your own thing?
For me, when we also chose the song, it was already clear before the song was released that we will earn some criticism because it's such a unusual Eurovision song. You know, it's such a because it's so small and it's a beautiful song, but it takes a while. It really fits to Switzerland. You know, it's always it needs a second look on it. You know, it needs it's not here and shouts out, look, I'm beautiful. It's just like here, there's a world and you have to enter it. And if you enter it, you're gonna feel how beautiful it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that you're gonna stand out because there'll be all these other songs. Yeah, yeah, woo. And then there's America.
Yeah. And at the moment, it's just about then like having those few seconds before I start the show, just like calm it down, take away the air out of the room, and then let it get in kind of way. Yeah.
Oh yeah, exciting. And at Eurovision, when it's all done, what do you want people to remember about Marius Bear?
Ooh, that's a good question. For me, it should be like, that's the guy who gave me like this 3-minute long hug in my living room, I think, you know, which goes through the television like this and just like, okay, the world is still okay. Everything's still fine. I know we had a hard time right now, but there's love in the world. And I think that should be the message.
Oh, that's lovely. And Bear, is Bear your real last name?
No, my real last name is Hügli. So that's like a proper Swiss name, Hügli.
Where did Bear come from?
It's kind of like it's quite easy because when I started busking, I needed like a second name because people started to search me on Google. And I was thinking about, okay, what's the second name? It should not be my second name because so I have a bit privacy under it. So I was searching for it, and then a friend of mine told me in the pub, like, yeah, you know, you look like a bear, you talk like a bear, you got that aura like a bear. And so I thought, okay, Bear, I like it, let's do this.
Oh wow, because the Romanian singer, his name in Romanian is also Bear.
Ah, yeah, oh cool.
So y'all need to meet up in Madrid. It'll be a bear party.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. What is the sound of beauty to you?
I think the sound of beauty to me is if a song fits to a person who sings it. If she can create this magic what music can bring to us all.
Well, look, Marius, it's been a huge pleasure chatting with you. Final question. Do you have a message for all of your new fans all over Europe who are watching you here on Wiwibloggs? Enjoy
the Eurovision Song Contest. Enjoy the music, what is brought to you, and do it like you always do. Give so much love out there and just be yourself. Yeah.
He is Marius Bear, Switzerland. The song is Boys Do Cry, competing in semi-final 1 of Eurovision 2022. Y'all need to vote to see him move forward. You have to pick up the phone and vote. Marius,
go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.